Hey, girl.
Hello.
So, so we are live now. I'm just
Oh
waiting for a
Lord.
few people to come in. Don't worry, girl. It real, it's real easy breezy over here. It's real easy breezy. You know what? Go on your page though, and go to my page
Right.
and hit share and share this live so that your friends can see it on
Okay.
your page.
Uh
And
oh.
jump
I
right in
ain't know it
there.
was gonna put you off. Hold on. Okay, let me run on there right quick.
Yeah.
I thought I shared it. I guess I didn't. Let me see.
No, you did share it, but this is the new live. So you should see
I
us
got
live.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we have some people on, and let me hit the comments because I love to see the comments as they
Oh
come
Lord.
in. And girl, first of all, as soon as I announced you were coming on, I think so many people started reposting. I was like, okay,
Don't make
they
me
love it.
blush.
They did. And I know my good friend like let me not. Oh my god, good friend came on Carmen, so don't kill my best friend Carmen Bird, aka Lena B, Author
Oh,
Lena
that's
B.
my sweetie pie.
I know she can't wait, so I know she's already. Oh, here she go. Oh my god, I'm in a class. What class are you in,
We was
girl?
just on Clubhouse. She just had me on Clubhouse.
I need to get back into Clubhouse. Speaking of
You
Clubhouse.
know what? Today was my first time getting on there in
Yeah, I haven't
months.
been in Clubhouse for a while. I'm not even lying to you. I need to get back into the Bible Clubhouse, but I can't. Carmen said this is the best friend and best cover designer together. Wait, you design covers?
Yeah, I do most of her covers.
What? I think she did tell me. I never peeped that. Okay, thank you. Because did you do? Listen, let me tell you something. That cover with the blue and the gold.
That's
I told
yeah,
her,
I
baby,
did that.
girl, are you a makeup artist?
No, I wish.
Because it made me just want to beat my face. The
For
cover
real?
alone, the cover, the colors together
Oh
was
yes,
just,
that
it's
blue
so
and gold
inspirational.
baby was something serious.
Yes. So listen, for every author that's following right now, matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure I share this inside the group, this live inside the group. Hold on, because you see everybody be asking who can design my cover. Well, now you know. So let me share this inside the Extraordinary Writers Group 1 second. And then we go get started. All right. So thank you. Welcome to the first chapter over here. I just like to vibe with other authors. You know, we all in this together. Um,
Yes.
yes, and then listen to the first few pages of your book and get into it. We already know it's going to be juicy because I heard you are a dope writer. We already know you can design the hell out of a cover. So, with all further ado, please introduce yourself and you get right into it.
I am Authoress Na'Kia. I previously wrote under the name Kia Miche.
Oh,
And I have a lot of books. I have like 50 something maybe.
are you serious?
Yes, that's all I
Oh, we're
do.
going to talk about that.
She said we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, we're going
I
to get
mean
into that as we finish.
that's my job, that's my job. So yeah, I gotta write.
Yes.
And this was
Also,
my first book
this
since
book right here is your
June.
first?
Since June of last year. I haven't released a book in months.
Wait, hold on. Look, I said this your first book. You said since June.
I went for real. Like I went from dropping 2 books a month to like it took me
Oh,
with this book, it took me about 8 months to write because I kept crying. Like I kept having to stop writing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was emotional. And I started it over like 10 times.
are you serious? So we got to get into this. Hey, Mr. Ricky, listen, we got to shout out Mr.
Hey,
Ricky
Mr.
Music.
Ricardo.
Listen, this is the president of the Jamaican Association of Maryland, but
Mm.
this is my uncle here, okay? Like, a lot of stuff that goes that look, and for me to have a Jamaican Migo series crazy book, and I have Mr. Ricky on, that's a big deal. That and
You
love you,
gotta
Mr.
tell
Ricky.
me what's that. You gotta send that link to me.
Oh, I'm going to. We're gonna get into that.
Oh, I'm nervous. Okay.
Don't be, girl. It's really cool over here.
I know. Okay, here we go.
Thank
I am
you.
reading Summer in the Ville 3, right? That is, or was it part 1?
Huh?
I'm reading part 3 or part 1.
Anyone you want.
All right, I'm gonna start with this one because I
Get
got
into
it
it.
pulled up
And if
here.
you want, if you read chapter 1 and you feel like you want to go on chapter 2, go ahead. I mean, flow with it, but don't give everybody your book because you want them to buy it.
I got you. I got you. Okay, chapter 1. Nelly, be careful what you take for granted. Damaged by her played softly from my speaker beside me as I sat on the floor Indian style, removing the rods from my hair. As the song continuously played, I couldn't help but think of Zakai in last night's argument. His words, like daggers, piercing through my flesh each time he spoke, resulted in another sleepless night. It didn't make it any better that he was in Tampa on business with Coca, but the thought of him being laid up under his stupid ass baby mama had snuck its way into my head. I knew that he didn't fuck with Sahira, yet that didn't stop me from thinking it whenever we were beefing because I knew that she wanted him back. I had seen the messages confirming it. She was always left on red, but that never stopped her desperate ass from trying harder. After having our daughter Zaria, I no longer felt secure in our relationship. He wanted the exposed side of me, but I was nothing to expose. At least that's what I had always thought. Postpartum was a motherfucker when you already had confidence issues. I was fighting all type of demons I never spoke about, but that didn't mean they didn't exist. I knew what life was like without Zakai because I had done what felt like a life sentence without him. And it was hell because he was once the source that gave me life. We were more than emotionally invested in this. I had that nigga physically. Even after all the shit I had put him through, he came back. I was certain with everything in me that he was done after I had killed his seed and told him that it was another's, but he wasn't. I loved that nigga, and I knew without an ounce of doubt that he loved me. But I still didn't feel like I was enough because I felt like there was somebody out there better for him. It wasn't his fault, though. That was just me. I couldn't help but think that he would one day want his lick back from me hurting him. I rested my arms as I stared at myself in the floor length mirror, emotionless because of the person staring back at me. The damage inside of me brewed deep, but I couldn't say shit because that meant that I had to open up and let him in. For the life of me, I couldn't allow myself to be vulnerable, even after losing him once for this very reason. Selfishly, I ignored the fact that he gave me solace. He gave me security. He had my back, and that was enough to make me fight for the bond we had. Getting dressed, I continued to sing along with her before the song was interrupted by Zakai's ringtone. Sighing, I answered. What's up? I answered in a nonchalant tone, even though I was burning inside. He had no idea how damaging his words had harmed my fragile state of mind. You done with that funky ass attitude or you still bitching? Were the first words he said. I rolled my eyes and silently counted to 10 before saying something that could potentially end us. Smacking my teeth, I sighed and grabbed my shoes and purse to head out. You better be glad you in the streets and I'm not trying to beef with you while you out. What's up, Zakai? I repeated, more annoyed than before, while snapping the tennis bracelet he bought onto my wrist. I know you've been tripping on a nigga with all these trips I've been taking lately, and I feel like I have to make it up to you. Find you something to wear and meet me at Ray's tonight. Date night was what I missed. I missed spending quality time with my man and doing shit regular couples did. We rarely did any of it since having Zaria, so I welcomed the gesture of him trying. Chuckling, I picked up the phone. I guess I can do that. What time? About 6. What you about to do now? The truth. The truth was what I needed to spew, yet I couldn't. I'm going to see my mama, and I have 2 heads to do at the shop. I had heads to do, but seeing my mama wasn't in the plan. The lie rolled so easily off my tongue, and it scared me, but I had to protect me first. I bet. Grab you some cash out the safe and go do you. And cook. Yes, Sakai. I love you, alright? Stop fighting with a nigga all the time. I smirked, realizing that my problems were pouring over into my relationship with someone only wanting to love me. I love you too, more than I could ever have the strength to show. Oh, Lord, it's hot in here, y'all. Hold on.
I know, right? We getting this hot in this book.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Turn
Uh-uh.
on.
I know I should have cut the down. I don't feel like it though.
No, that's
Okay.
cool.
Hearing heavy raindrops beat against the large bay windows creating a sunken tune and taking my thoughts into a deeper place. This was my reality. Here I sat in front of a complete stranger, bottling up emotions that I wanted to release so badly. I stared at her, wondering how I ended up on her couch, fighting the urge to get up and run. But I was tired of running. I had been running from my problems for years. Over a decade had passed since I had been bottling up my emotions, hoping that they would disappear. How did your past affect you? She questioned, with her ink pen pressed firmly against the yellow notepad, itching to write down my words. Sipping from her coffee mug, she sat it down and gave me her undivided attention. Sitting her pen down, her hands clasped together on her lap while one leg crossed over the other. Lowering her glasses, she stared at me. I can't help you, Nellie, if you don't talk to me. For the past 2 weeks, this has been our routine. I know your pain. I understand it. And I want to connect with you. But I need you to meet me halfway. I gazed at her, unsure of how to mask my pain by letting my words seep from me in a positive tone. How could I openly describe what it felt like to be used as a pawn to make money? I couldn't. It was humiliation at its best. Sighing, I closed my eyes and wiped the tear as it fell. Tired of holding it in, my mouth began running like a faucet moments before I felt myself about to erupt. It started when I was 8 years old. My daddy, I chuckled, swirling my thumbs around each other. He was my best friend. I was daddy's little girl. I chuckled again, feeling my heart fighting to catch its next breath as a tear fell, thinking back to when life was great. I was a kid, and I did kid things. Life was perfect in my eyes, even though the people I held closest to me were battling their own demons. I was his favorite. It was me and my twin sister, Nate, but he only saw me. He took me everywhere. I looked down, feeling myself on the verge of an anxiety attack. I hated thinking about it. But I didn't know his love came with such a hateful price. I remember it like it was yesterday. My mother had to work, as always, but she had done me and my twin sister's hair in the prettiest braids. It was a mohawk style with clear and white beads on the ends, and she had bought us gray and white striped sundresses with clear jellies to match. I got quiet and swallowed hard while trying to fight the stinging feeling stirring inside of me. I felt like the prettiest girl alive that day, and he broke that piece of confidence. That day, we went to the Gamble House on the Rocky Road. I paused. I felt my body shaking as I drifted back to when life was
Your
great.
sound went out.
Huh?
Oh, your sound had went out for a little
Oh,
bit.
I was getting a call. A call.
Okay,
My
so
bad.
right when you said that day, we
Gotcha.
went to the okay, yeah.
That day, we went to the Gamble House on the Rocky Road, and I was excited because I love seeing my daddy make money. Because whenever he made money, we always went to Walmart to get whatever toys and whatever else me and my sister wanted. When we got there, the stench of malt liquor and marijuana lingered throughout the house, while computer love blared loudly from the speakers. The house was empty. I paused. I felt my body shaking as I drifted back to that day. My heart began thumping harder, causing my chest to feel as if it would collapse at any given moment. I placed my hands in between my thighs, hoping to stop them from shaking as if they were having a seizure. I remembered it so distinctly because I had nightmares about it at least twice a week. Take your time, she stated, handing me a Kleenex because the tears had started. The front of the house was empty, with a rundown couch in the corner, and the card table sat in the middle. A big screen TV sat near the front door with a tall lamp beside it. I chortled. Hearing the sound of thunder startled me and pulled me from my pain momentarily before I realized that the deed wasn't done. I still had so many emotions to set free. I looked up at her and she was writing. The swiftness of her hand sent an electrifying chill down my spine. I wanted to see her words so that I could make myself believe that this wasn't my story. I wanted to believe this was somebody else's book. Holding the pen still, she gave me her attention. He lost all his money that day. I blinked away the tears as my eyes locked in on her. He lost $150 and his favorite watch my mom had bought him 2 days prior. Wiping my eyes with the drenched Kleenex, she handed me another. He didn't give up because my daddy wasn't a quitter. He wanted every penny back, so he kept going, losing one jewelry piece after another. It was the last round of spades that altered my life for the worse. My chest heaved up and down as I began to hyperventilate. I couldn't do it. It was too painful. I tried so bad to erase those memories. I tried so hard to continue life if those years never happened, but they always reappeared. He bet $150 that he knew he didn't have, and he lost. He had lost everything, but Sammy didn't want money. He wanted me. $150 was worth my dignity. My eyes cut deeper into hers, and I saw that she held a stoic expression. I didn't want pity. I needed help to rid myself of the nightmares. I wanted to be able to sleep at night without envisioning the man I once called my hero take pride in auctioning off his daughter's small pussy. What made me enough? Did it make you feel like it was your fault? She quizzed while staring with intensity, and I nodded. I started believing it was my fault when I no longer cried. I succumbed to the pain the man that created me brought. He took my dignity. He took my soul. He killed that little girl and forced her to grow up long before she was supposed to. The window became my newest addiction as I stared at it. Even with the dark clouds and blurred view from the storm, the view of Atlanta calmed me. It was therapeutic, even though it was only for a moment. Those actions became the norm for me, so I began to welcome it. His gambling routine eventually turned into simply taking payments from men that held a fetish for innocent little girls. $150 soon turned into $50. $50 for my soul, because that's what he took. I dabbed my eyes and wiped the snot that roamed freely from my nose. I wasn't even worth the hotel room. The piss-stained mattress in the back room was all they needed to steal my spirit. Vomit
Mm.
swam around in my stomach as I thought back to the days where my body was used as merchandise. My heart started to slow as the day started to play, detail for detail. The way he undressed me with his eyes caused my heart to collapse before I looked at her. I wish she could feel what I was feeling because she would understand why I had buried myself within. And do you feel like your past made an impact on the person you've become? I looked at her saying nothing, yet my eyes responded. I do. Being used as dollar value made me believe that no one could really love me. I'm damaged goods. Why would they? Using what I have to get what I want was what my daddy instilled in me. I never believed in love and having a companion to call my own because I couldn't force myself to believe I was worth it. Looking down, I began fiddling with my fingers, feeling as though I had said too much. You can't allow your past to define you because it would demolish everything you stand for. A lot of times, people don't know how to love, so they do anything they can to manipulate you into believing that lust is enough. It sounded interesting, but it was far from my truth. For years, I hadn't felt like I mattered in this cold world. I had my twin sister, but deep down, it was just me. I fought hard to find an ounce of love for myself after hating myself for over 10 years. I hated myself for being appealing to the eyes of men 3 times my age. I vividly remembered the nights where I would purposely scratch up my face and body, hoping that it would turn them off, but it never did.
Mm.
Ironically, it made them adore me even more. Imagine growing up in a hood as ruthless as Thomasville Projects with a mother that loved you and a father that did whatever he could to use you. There was no pain deeper than loving someone that loved to bring you pain. It was a tough pill to swallow doing the shit I had done. I couldn't look back and keep my head held high, knowing the pain I had deep inside me. The agony of my past didn't end until I was 12 when my daddy was killed, and as far as everyone knew, he had been murdered by some niggas he owed money to. Even though he had betrayed me and I hated everything about him, a piece of me felt like I was just as bad knowing what had really happened. The day my Uncle Dred saw me breaking down was the day my daddy took his last breath. And I didn't regret any of it because I resented him. Looking at Dr. Price, the tears continued falling and I did nothing to stop him. Nobody knows how hard it is portraying this girl that doesn't give a damn about anything when she cares about it all. I have a reputation of a hoe when in reality I'm far from that. Putting on this image makes me feel safe inside because I don't have to show my feelings. The shoes I was given have always been too big for me, yet I still wore them proudly so that the people I held dear to me would never have to walk in them. I know for a fact the ones closest to me couldn't walk a mile in my shoes. There were parts of me no one knew about. There was a dark cloud lingering over me that I was afraid to move away from, terrified that I wouldn't be able to handle the world in a different light. And how has your past affected your relationship? I smiled thinking about so. My past was something I battled, and the only way I figured I could make it through was by giving men the most valuable piece of me because I foolishly thought it would make that throbbing pain go away. It hasn't affected us as of lately, but when me and Zoe first got together, I didn't know how to love him. I wiped my eyes. How could I love him when I didn't love myself? He treated me like a queen, but even queens suffered dark days, and that was something I chanted daily while fighting the urge to smile. Zoe was my therapy. He was the reason I kept going when I wanted to give up. I owe that man my life because he taught me that even the most damaged souls could love. She gave a faint smile and proceeded to write. We all deserve happiness, Nellie, and I'm happy you finally have peace. Never let anyone disturb it because once they're inside, they have the upper hand. I nodded, feeling every word she'd spoken. I no longer wanted my anger, my feelings, my past to define me. I wanted better for myself because my daughter looked up to me. Thank you so much, I smiled. I never wanted to open up about this, but I have been most open with you. That's what I like to hear. Closing her notepad, she removed her glasses and sat up straight. How would you feel about bringing your family in on your next session? I think it's time you open up to them and release that last load. Bringing my mama and butter was something I had considered, but I was mortified to see their reactions. Growing up, my mama worshiped my daddy. He was her best friend, her soulmate. I couldn't count the number of times I had reneged on telling her what was going on for the sake of her happiness. I believe I can arrange that. I didn't know how much longer I could continue therapy when it only forced me to relive what I went through. I wasn't relieved. The pain hadn't subsided. Dread and my therapist didn't understand how it felt. Forcing myself on men was the norm for me, but it was worth easing a pain that would never fully go away. Zakai made it better for me because he didn't force shit on me. He listened to the silent cries even though they revealed nothing. Yet and still, I knew that he would be waiting with his ears open whenever I was ready to talk. He still had doubts that I was ready to solely be with him, but he didn't understand how he was the answer to the love I needed. I have something for you. She grabbed a journal from her desk and handed it to me. Whenever you feel yourself slipping away, jot down your thoughts and say them out loud. Sometimes chanting out the problem makes it vanish. Staring at the journal, I grabbed it and sighed, feeling as though there wasn't a notebook thick enough for all the demons I hid within me. That was her part.
Well, listen to me. Listen to me. That was the first chapter.
That ain't even the first chapter, girl. That's just her scene. I ain't even, how.
Oh, first of all, my computer had the power star going off. So I got up. And when I was over there, you should see I was running back. And I was like, wait a minute. Did she just say her father sold her little cuckoo?
He did.
No, and you know what? For you to even touch, first of all, you're very descriptive. You could sit and actually visualize everything you were saying, which makes a good writer. So kudos to that. It was very descriptive. And not only were you describing your setting, but I can also feel the emotions in your characters, and especially her. And then I also see like how the stuff that her father did to her, how it trickled into her adult life already. And I'm in the human services field, so I see that so much. And I say it so much, and I teach it expressive. I have an expressive writing course. You know, we talk about trauma, past traumas and stuff, and I talk about that, the early experiences and that impact that it had on adulthood. So for you to touch that also in this book makes so much sense in this day and time, because you have the new thing that they say called slut shaming.
Right.
And I'm guilty of it. You know, I'm guilty of it. You the first one, especially if it's somebody that's promiscuous. I will sit there, I will listen. If we get in an argument, first thing coming out my mouth. You hoe, you freak, you slut, you whatever. And
Yeah.
and you don't sit and ask yourself why or what happened to this person that makes them just find, pleasure and just sleeping with random people. Like, it can't be, sex is good, yes, but it can't be that good when you everybody, you know, like,
Let it cool.
so what is leading to that? So thank you for even touching bases on that.
And
One
you
thing I
know
want to ask you,
something, Carmen,
huh?
Carmen is a feedback god, if that makes sense.
Yeah, she
Because
is.
I had wrote that scene, the therapy scene, and I was like, oh, something missing. Like I told you, I started this book over so many times. I was
You
like,
said
something
that.
missing. So I sent it to her, and she was like, you need to put some more detail in there. So I sent it right back to her, and she was like, girl. She was like, I think she came back. If I'm not mistaken, she came back and she was like, bitch. And I was like,
Sound like, sound like her.
she talking
Potty
about, I
mouth.
didn't tell you to make me cry.
Carmen has a potty mouth.
She talking about, I didn't tell you
No,
to make me cry. I said,
but no, because you have to honestly listen. One of the part of the task of a writer is making readers put themselves in your book and
yes,
feel what
ma'am.
the characters are feeling. So when you write a book, like I just told you, as you described her, I seen, I like, you know, and not only just the setting and everything, but I felt like or everything that was, even the unsaid words, all the things you didn't write out, the text. I felt it because I could just imagine. Had I
Mm-hmm.
let my father pawned me off to pay off a debt.
Pawned her out. But that scene was very sad. But the one where, because of course I can tell y'all this, it don't matter. But she's gonna have a moment where she takes him to her therapy session.
Who?
And Cookie, she gonna tell him. And when she telling
Woo!
him, now I really cried because when she told him, she closes her eyes and she like becomes the guy, and she plays the words verbatim the whole conversation.
Oh, wait a minute. Look, first of all, I want you to know that you got 2 book sales. Aisha Flowers bought part 1 and 2 already.
Thank you.
Yes. And she's like, girl. I
So
mean,
part
hold
one
on.
and two. So what I did was part 1 and 2 isn't Cookie and Zoe. Part 1 and 2 is Coca and Kari, which is
Okay.
Cookie's best friend.
Okay, look, she said, I got my book and I'm ready to read these books already. Let me
Thank
tell you,
you.
if you want to see the comment, right? I should have told you this. Look over in the corner on the right hand side. You see the button that say comments. Click on it, and you'll see everything pop up.
I don't see absolutely nothing.
Oh, you said it should say comments. I'm sorry if you don't see it, but
This
I'll read
thing,
it.
my phone be hating.
So,
So
did her uncle kill her daddy?
yeah, he did.
Okay, I picked because I was like, wait a minute. She said, as far as the streets know, daddy got killed, but I picked as soon as she said, as far as the streets know. Then she said the day her uncle basically found out was the last time my phone was breathing. Go, uncle, as you should.
She
But
said,
my
"Go,
head look
uncle."
tender, like it's puffy. But as you should, uncle. Oh, and then hold on. Did her mother ever find out?
No, I
Because I
was
knew she
going
was keeping
to.
it from her mother.
I was going to let her tell them, but I was like, I feel like that how can I put it? Her not telling them, it solidifies her and Zoe's bond even further
Yeah,
because she's
she
shared
told him
her deepest secrets. You know what I'm
with him.
saying? So
Pick that guy.
I wanted it to be like that type of thing because
Got it.
he's damaged as hell too. So she's damaged because she's afraid to take that step with him. But she's also like, I feel like I'll never be good enough for him. You know?
But you know, two damaged people sometimes. Lord Jesus, they attract like magnets, don't they? You ever
They
see? Then they become codependent upon each other. And it's
yes.
just like what, like I've seen it, and you know, I've witnessed that. And also, you know, I've been in it. You know, at
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when you at your lowest, the person that loves you and understand you at at your lowest is they can do it because they
It's
at
the
their
best.
lowest.
Right.
So, and that's why I think you get that connection because you know what I'm going through. And it's almost like I can confide in you and I don't have to feel no shame or guilt about it because, hey,
And
you
nobody
also
understand it the way you do.
now that could be a good or bad thing, like, so I would never say two damaged people can't help each other, like one get up and help the other, but sometimes it's almost like that crabs. By the time you try to get up, you try to bring them up, go pull you down, sometimes it just never work out. But this book was, now I have to ask you some questions now.
No problem.
You said one of the stuff you said was this book was your job. So outside of writing, I like to ask, is this your sole thing that you do? Selling books is what you do?
It is. But I also have a hair and skincare line.
Oh, go.
But
Boom. Plug
like
it.
writing is like top,
Is writing therapeutic for you as well?
Yes. I like to tell people this story because it's funny. It's very therapeutic because like when I don't really get mad at him no more, but when I used to get mad at my dude or whatever, I could just make him a character and do whatever I want to do. So yeah, it's very therapeutic in that, But
I'm about
sometimes
to put if my fiance probably watch it. My fiance watch it. If you piss me off, you're about to be the next character in my book. I'm gonna let you know that.
Girl, he said I remember I made him a character before and he read it. And he put my he
Did he pick
my
it up
book on
it was about him?
Girl, he put it on the grill.
What? A real grill?
And barbecued it. I said, man.
Lord. Now you wrote 50 books.
Right.
When did you know you wanted to be a writer?
It's so funny. I did it. In 2015, I just used to read. Like I was an avid reader, And my birthday that year, he had got me a laptop. And I was like, I'm gonna try to write a book. I just want to see if I can do it. And I wrote a whole book. I submitted it to my publisher. And by the time she got back with me, I had then finished part 2 and a standalone. So them books, so that month I dropped 3 books. And my very first book, when the very, very first book I dropped, it went number 1. And I was like, oh my God. And it just went like that.
I want to ask you that. So how fast does it take you to write a full novel?
If I'm focused and I'm like nothing's distracting me, I can finish it in 10 days.
What?
Yeah, I can finish it in 10 days if I'm good, like nothing bothering me, no writer's block trying to creep through. I'm good.
That's awesome. Okay, so what is your process then? Like when you get into your zone, your book process, is it something like, for me, I tell people I don't go and write and yes, it may be outlined. I know in my mind it's a little outline.
Now that's what I cannot do.
See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Everybody asks me, do I outline it? And I say I call it free writing. When I go to write, it's not like I know what he's gonna say, what she's gonna do. I kind of just, my first round of it, just free write. I'm writing.
But you know what I do? It's not really so much of outline. Like, say for instance, I write chapter 1 and 2, and then I'm ready to go to bed. So what I do is I write in chapter 3. I'll probably write like 1 or 2 sentences of how I want that scene to go. So I write like that.
But, notes, kind of like.
Yeah, so it works out. But my routine, I have to get back on my routine because I fell off a little bit. I write 2,500 words in the morning. And then I write 2,500 words when my baby go to sleep. So all throughout the day, I'm good.
You're writing.
Yeah. So all throughout the day, it's free until the nighttime. And so that's for my 5K for the day. 10 days, you got 50K.
Do you, let me ask you something. When you start off writing, do you have a set word count? Someone asked me that when you're doing the book, because I remember when I wrote Jamaica Me Go Crazy, Lord Jesus, I remember my editor when I sent this, she was like, girl, this is about 10 books in one. Like I literally ain't know what I was doing. I just honest, this was the first book I ever wrote. So I was just a writer, and I was telling everybody, but when she asked me, do you see your word count? That's what I said. I was like, what is a word count? Like Oh, I said I was looking like I'm supposed to care. Like that's significant that I'm supposed to be thinking about. And it's not until, of course, I learned that. So it was a learning process. Then you damn sure want to think about the word count when you got to print the books, especially if you do book printing. You know,
So
that's
how
when
long have you been writing?
I've been writing oh my goodness, all my life. But wrote my first book, I want to say about 15, 20 years ago. Jamaica be crazy.
Really?
Adult Jamaica. I tell you, listen, let me grab them. They always say my hand. Where's that one? Adult Jamaica Me Crazy is my latest book. It's the first ones I wrote, but I put out other books. So I have this one with Nikki. I gotta put it with Nikki Turner.
Oh wow.
Then I put this out with Monique Hall. That's in Atlanta with you after with you. Then I came with part 1 of Jamaica Me Crazy. Then I did part 2. But honestly, you see both of them, they could have actually went into my editor. What she was doing is she wanted to put into 3 books. That's how long the book. Like if the book was long for no reason.
I cannot. Let me tell you something. And if I got anybody on here, they will tell you, honey. I cannot. I have to set a word count because I get tired of characters, and if I keep going, I'll kill people. I'm quick to do it.
Lord,
quick.
Oh my God,
quick.
You know
I'm
what?
telling you. That's why I had to do this series like that. Like one couple, then the next couple.
I started cussing out my characters like they were real. Like people like. So when my editor was like, "You need Jamaica a part 3," I said, "Excuse me," I was like, "Fuck Jamaica!" Like I'm tired of this bitch. I'm like, honestly, like, this is what I was kind of like. Jamaica's getting on my fucking nerves. Honestly, like she needs to go.
So and that's her name. So that's the character name.
That's the character name. So Jamaica is about a young lady who grew up in a household with hustling parents.
Okay.
And of course, they want the best for her. And they parents that hustle, but then end up becoming like legitimate business moguls in their own rightful mind. So they turned their dirty money clean. And all they wanted was for their daughter. They had 2 daughters. So her sister Rochelle was to just go to college and become someone herself. But Jamaica, that early exposure is almost like she had all the assets and avenues, and she had everything it took to be a legit businesswoman. But her thing is that she wants to get that money real quick. And she's not. She don't want to impatient. Yeah, she's not even trying to. Her focus is not on the job. Her focus is on the come up. And what she sneakily idolized her mom. So her mother is from Jamaica. That's why her mother named her Jamaica. And her mom honestly bust her ass to get to America from Jamaica. Right. So when her mom came in, she found herself a hustler, her father. So Jamaica mind, that is the key. That's what I need to do. So Jamaica have a best friend who going through her own little issues too. Like her dad died. Her mom started getting high after her dad died. And she had a baby sister. So now she's stripping to make ends meet so she could take care of her mother. So together, Jamaica kind of roped her in and said, I got an idea of how we can make some money. So they opened up their own brothel. They opened up their own brothel. And they did. They start making money. But you will see, like in that book, is like you see what money do to friendships and families and everything else.
Money could be it'll do some things.
It's definitely the root, the soil, the flower, the stem. It's to all evil. Sometimes it can when it's in the wrong hand. It can.
I need to go grab it.
You know what? I'm gonna send me your email and I'm gonna send you part 1.
Okay.
When we get,
I'm gonna have to send it to you.
Is there any authors that inspire you?
Who are you? Let me see. Are you talking about like in our era, or are you talking about like just period?
Period.
The let's see. We got Shannon Holmes, Kiki Swenson, of course, Sister Soldier, Wahida, Kawan, Zane. Zane. Yeah, I love
she did my book release with me. I had Zane. She did my book release with me.
Really? How was that? She seems like such a laid back.
Zane is the most down to listen when she got on like down to earth to the T. It's almost like down to earth to the T. Excuse me.
I used to watch
It
her
was a
show.
pleasure. I had a big virtual book release, and I wanted Sister Soldier so bad. I think I'm still on ignore, and she ignored the shit out of me. But
Damn.
It's cool. She's still
keep trying. Hey,
she's still the one that inspired. My thing was like, hey, you inspired me because I read her book and I was inspired to be a writer. After like I was already writing, so I started off. I'm from a musical background too. My family does music, so I was lyric writing songs.
So where you from?
Writing. I'm from Baltimore, but my family from Jamaica, so they had the first reggae band. So I was doing like songwriting. I was writing poetry. I was doing little short stories here and there. But when I picked up her Sister Soldier's book, I was like, yes, I was inspired. So I really loved her and Nikki Turner. So
I love her too.
Nikki Turner and yeah, word. And then now, and then Victoria Christopher Murray. You have to get on her book. It's actually shout out to Victoria Christopher Murray. Her books, Lust and Envy, is dropping on Lifetime Movies on April, I think it's the 14th and the 17th. Don't quote me, but I posted in my writing group. So if anyone is on here, please go to my writing group, ExSTARdinary Writers. ExSTARdinary Writers, and add yourself to the group. But I've been plugging it because I cannot wait. When I say I'm going to sit down with some popcorn.
April.
Just look
that title,
look up
first of all.
Lust and Envy Lifetime. Because listen, I was sitting down and watching Housewife of Atlanta, and Candy Burst was like, last week, Candy was like, yeah, I had gained 15 pounds during the COVID, but I have to, I got a thing to lose weight because I just was, I'm in a new movie, Lust. Well, she said Envy on one of them, but she is the star of what, like, and mind you, I'm sitting here, I just love it. I love it.
Lord, baby, Candy can't act.
Are you serious?
Hell
no. Candy.
Hell no. Candy sucked monkey balls in acting. Do you watch The Shy?
Hold on. One second. You said do I watch what?
The Shy.
Yes, I did. I do.
She was on there. You think she was good?
Yes.
Oh,
maybe
Jesus.
You know what? Can I say maybe it's because honestly she is like I want to work with her so bad. It's like
really?
As far as yes, because like her business, she is the most business oriented.
Well, yeah, I give that to her. I can't take that away from her.
Fireman. So I could, maybe it's that, but I'm not. When I really like somebody, I tend to be biased, and I see no evil, do no like I. So that
because I don't play by actors. Mary J, she can't act. Lala definitely can't act.
Oh,
Lala get 5 thumbs down. Love Lauren London. She can't act. Okay, let me
God. Every time.
Love these people, but the acting is not now. And then it looks like that's what all the rappers do.
What about what's the with her and T.I.? Are you serious? What was the ATL?
That's about it. After that, it went downhill. Down goes Frazier.
So who's your favorite actress? Who you think of?
The basics.
If you could audition somebody for a role in your book right now. For this one.
For this book? Shit.
Yeah.
I would love Tiana Taylor because she know how to do the ratchet thing.
Yes, she do.
Let me see.
Very good.
Maybe I don't know. I'd be kind of on the fence with Keke Palmer.
Oh my goodness.
No, she can act, but like certain things, I'd be like,
Look,
nah.
every time you say somebody,
I would love Tiana Taylor though. For guys, I would have to say, what's the boy name? Willie, Bobby Brown.
oh yes, oh yes,
That thing's so fine.
yes, he is phenomenal. Oh my
I
goodness.
love
Oh,
him. I love him. Like,
especially in Power.
ooh.
Is it Power? Oh
Listen,
yes.
my dude be like, you smiled a little too damn hard at this man.
You smiled a little hard to that right now too.
That man is beautiful. Him and dang, what's the boy? I do not know his real name, but the dude off Bird Box.
I don't. What's Bird Box?
What? You don't remember Bird Box, the movie everybody was going crazy about on Netflix, where they was blindfolded?
Yes, yes, yes,
Him,
yes, yes.
that dark one.
I can't remember. I did watch it, so now I'm gotta go back and like Google and look at the characters. I'm gonna Google the
Girl,
characters.
that man there is
Oh look, he said yes, he's fine. Okay.
fine. Girl, fine all caps.
Oh,
All caps. Like, man, you'd be like, dang. But
so do you
yeah.
see yourself eventually turning your books into movies or moving towards that? That's good. Well, we all know. Listen, child, I want to be there when they audition because you think
Because
everybody. You're like,
see,
sir.
I'm going into a
Script
different
writing.
genre this year. Well, I've
Okay.
already started. I've been learning the script writing thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I plan on going into another genre this year. And
Yeah.
this genre that I'm going into, those are the movies that I'm working on.
Yeah.
Because
I
let me
think
tell you something.
I'm moving towards a different genre because I didn't want to be locked into urban fiction. I always said that, so I'm jumping all over, not jumping all over, but I am going to explore a different avenue that's what I want to pursue for a movie. Like,
Because
so
you
the
know
book,
something.
right? Huh?
Everybody want to work with Tyler Perry, and I don't knock it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I ain't on that. I want Jordan Peele. Like,
Well,
the
listen,
way
I
this
work
man
with Tyler Perry. I work with any one of them that can get my.
let
I
me tell you
will.
something. The way Jordan Peele think, that's the type of shit my head be having going
Yeah.
on. That's
Oh,
like,
yeah, his stuff. They be.
yeah, I be. That's
Listen,
how
yeah.
my mind is.
Are
No
you
lie,
down?
no
Okay. Well,
lie.
you probably can't know that.
You think
He'll
like
have
in my
people like
books.
crooked and backwards and yeah. Okay. So
I,
before we go, I do want to ask you this too. You do book covers. Do you do any other writings, like book literary services, like what is it, formatting and
I do
typesetting?
formatting. I do formatting, but I just know how to do the basic, like all the nice pictures and stuff. I don't know how to do that. I want to learn, but Carmen want me to do logos. I'm not. I'm just not gonna do it.
Oh, you sure what? I think if you can
She
do book covers.
harasses me about it every week. No lie.
What about do you do typesettings and stuff like that?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I want to learn though. Like that's something that I plan to
I
learn
mean,
this
you
year.
see, you could be one stop shop because I'm already about to go.
Look,
Where
this is.
you know what? In closing out, because I'm already gonna go look. So you might as well tell everybody else if they want to see some of your book covers that you do. Where can they go on your page or just in general? Could you tell everybody where they can
I'm
find
finna
you?
put it. How do I?
It's right here going across the screen at the bottom. And just in case you can't see it, I already have it going across the screen. By the way, Facebook.
Yeah.
It's
How do I put
Authoress
something?
Na'Kia.
How do I put a chat in there? Like I see the comments,
You know,
but
it says chat. But no, you don't have to worry. I have someone plugging your stuff in. You could just say it. Plus,
okay, got you.
you can say it. I have
I
it going
have
across the
a
screen. I don't know if you can
okay.
see it. Plus, I have Tasha is going to plug it right into the comments if she's not
Okay, I
writing.
have a
But she already have it. Tasha already know it. Hey, Tasha, pretty lady. Hey,
Thank
Tasha.
you.
So my fiance said, y'all be blessed. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna write you into a book just yet. Then see,
I have a cover pre-made group. It's called Land of the Pre-Mates.
Oh, Land, Land,
LAND of the
yeah,
Pre-Mates.
PREMADE.
PREMA. Yep, MEDE. I mean MADES.
MADES. Okay, all right.
Pre-mates.
Y'all heard it. Y'all seen it. Okay. And you want to say that your email if they want to get in contact with you? Anything you
Y'all
want to say
can
before we go
follow
off?
me on Facebook, Authoress Na'Kia NA_KIA. It's the same name for my author page as well. And I love feedback, so I don't care if y'all come in my
Yes,
inbox.
if y'all follow her, she is. Y'all think I be cutting up. She is. She is
You want me to
alert.
tell her that? Oh God, my baby told me to tell y'all it's his name too.
Hey, baby, look, your mother. Welcome.
Aston, girl, this
What
boy,
is it?
Aston, he a mess.
Hey, Aston. Look, mine's. You didn't even hear. I wonder if you heard. Mine's bust through the door. Hi, handsome. How are you?
Good.
How old are you?
6.
Oh, I have a 6-year-old. His name is Caden.
That your son name is Caden?
Yes.
I have twin nephews, Caden and Caleb.
Oh, see, and I have Caden and Kyron. His brother, 4 years
Oh.
old.
So you don't have no girls. You got to get a girl.
No, don't do
I was just about to say, take your sip.
Now you done made me drink. I drunk everything now. So
That
we
is
have your
too
email
funny.
plugged. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for
This
tuning in.
was very fun. I enjoyed it.
No, it was a pleasure. You have to come back on. You have to, if you have another book, please come back on. If you're an author on here and you want to be on the show, please just send me an inbox message, or you can send me an email to book Keisha Starr. That's BOOKKEISHASTARR. We'd be glad to have you on. Thank you so much, Na'Kia. I cannot wait to get to Atlanta, Georgia, because I will be definitely.
Are you coming to the kickback?
Is they doing that with
Yeah.
COVID? Well,
It's gonna be.
I ain't
It's
trying to
gonna
get
be
a
July.
kickback into the gravy. Like I ain't trying if COVID.
Listen, let me tell you something. I don't be playing. I went to a pop-up shop and nobody had on no mask. Don't come over here.
Yes. Okay. So look, you said the kickback is when? Because I really
July
didn't even look at
17th.
it. I didn't look at it at all. I didn't look at no things at all because I was like, I have to see how COVID is acting. But I'm surprised
Yeah.
more than likely it was a kickback or it's in Atlanta, right? That
Right.
I'm gonna connect you and Mo. Because Mo is right there. And Mo has Book Boutique. That's the name of her bookstore. One of the biggest bookstores.
I'm gonna have to go over
Black Hole.
get
Shout
her
out to
information.
Monique Hall. Yes. Thank you so much for being on here. We're gonna cut up some more. Thank you. And
I'm gonna definitely link back up with you again.
Yes.
This was fun.
Yes, and I'll be touching the front cover, so thank you. And that Carmen cover looked good, honey. I told her, I said that cover made me want to go do my face. I want to beat my face. Okay. And she has bookings that I do. Sorry. Okay. So let me tell you, in case Tasha be keeping me on point. Thanks, Tasha.
You need somebody like that.
I will double book. I will triple book people on the same day. When they look at you, I'm like, look, well, what you want me to do? Okay, I'm one person.
Lord have mercy.
Tasha keeps me on point. Thank you, girl. See you and good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye. For anyone else that's on here, let me give you my information. Please go to my website, ExSTARdinary.com, to see my products and services that I offer. You can follow me right here on Facebook at Keisha Starr. Also, you can go to at Keisha Starr fan page because more than likely I'm always at my max here unless I delete someone, but I always end up adding someone. So you can hit me there on IG, Twitter, and Clubhouse. I'm at Keisha Starr. And on YouTube is ExSTARdinary Publishing. See you next week. Thursday, 8 o'clock p.m. this time, and I have a new author for you. Bye-bye.